Marriage lie number one is that you will change your spouse. That's the lie. I will change him. Oh, okay. All right. You will soon see. Don't marry as a missionary. That you are going there to convert the heathen. God has been trying to convert him. He hasn't succeeded. Now you want to be the converter. Yeah, it's okay.
You're watching the Liberty Church London with Dr. Shola and Bimbo Fola-Alade. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
This morning I continue in our series on relationships in the month of relationships. And today I'm talking about 5 marriage lies we believe and the truth about them. Tell somebody next to you or ask them, have you believed a lie? Say it again with some vavaboom. Have you believed a lie? I throw the first punch. I think it is important to just get some things straight very quickly, up front, especially for single people in the house and also married people, that marriage is not a reward for doing right. Hello? And singleness is not a punishment for doing wrong. So some people feel, oh, I'm single, maybe I've done wrong, God is punishing me, and and then when I get married, you should quickly show the ring, engagement, yes, the punishment is over. But you know what? Ask some married people. They feel like as though they are being punished now that they are married. So I just thought to get out of the way, okay? And every individual gets married with some reason in mind. Every single one of us, 1 or 2 reasons. Even though some of them may be unspoken, but we have a reason. Or some will say, oh, well, I got married because I want to fulfill Genesis 1:26, to be fruitful and multiply. If you check a bit deeper, you find out there's a bit more in it. And whatever that reason is, I call a foundation. That there's a foundation or the basis of your marriage, okay? And so what is the foundation? The foundation is, what is the foundation? It is the hidden part of the structure that gives anchorage and support to a building. So a foundation is usually hidden, but it is actually the most important part of the building because it gives anchorage. It gives what the building sits on that makes it solid and stable, and so that it is not moved even in times of storm. Okay, your marriage will not be moved in times of storm. Your vocational life will not be moved in times of storm. Your spiritual life will remain stable. And then it also gives support. These are the underlying principles. And so in terms of marriage, these are the underlying principles of the marriage. That is the cause, the basis, the motive, or the thinking upon which a thing exists or stands. And it's so important because, listen to this, if you're going to be married for 40, 50 years, the foundation had better be good. These days, you see, marriages have a very short lifespan. I know people who, 2 years, divorce. 1 year, divorce. Some even these days, 1 month. They've gone their separate ways. I'm like, wow, that was hot. That was fast. Express. Okay? And so listen to this. If you're married today or when you're going to get married, you will either have a wrong foundation or a strong foundation. There's no in between. It is either what? Wrong or what? Strong. And in terms of marriage, what are the foundations really? They are the assumptions upon which you base your marriage on, or the expectations that when I get married, this is what will happen in marriage. Listen to this. The truth of the matter is every marriage will face storms, whether you build wrong or strong. Does that make sense? So the issue is, build with the storm in mind. So that's why you have to marry right. Not just marry the right person, marry the right way, Yeah, and marry for the right reasons. You would see in a short while. What are the examples of some of the assumptions? I'll show you in a short while. Because the scripture says if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? Now, this is a strange one. It says if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? This scripture shows that even the righteous can build wrong. You say, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, so I know my marriage will be good. Nonsense. If you make a wrong decision or based on a wrong reason, you could build wrong. I gave an example in the first service that, a particular gentleman who is a prayer warrior and intercessor, one of the greatest prayer warriors in the world that I know, he's divorced. Yeah, he comes from a family, I think they have about 36 children, his dad, and all of them are divorced. And even him that is a pastor, apostle, prayer warrior. And not just divorced, twice divorced to the same person. He divorced the wife, remarried, and divorced her again. Now, I'm not saying that to judge him. I'm just saying that a righteous person can build wrong. He says it himself. I'm saying from the message he preached. He said, look, I made a mistake. This is what he said. He said, I married, it was when I married her that it's a few days later I found out I made the wrong choice. And he says, and my dad warned me. And his dad was in the occult. So you can be righteous and make a wrong decision. You can be unrighteous and still have sense. The only difference is that you are not going to heaven. Listen to this. So what are the kind of wrong assumptions or wrong expectations? Number one, and one example is she married him because she thought he will always meet her emotional and financial needs. Those of you are married, true or false? Which means you've heard that alarm ring before, eh? She married him. That's why she married him. So, you see, if you get married based on this, you will find that the marriage is already shaking from the first few, after the honeymoon. Where are you going to? Where are you going to? I'm going to the boys. You are going to leave me alone here? I thought you would always be in bed with me, talk to me, this and that. Hey, bros, what's this? We have to go to work, innit? And then you see, what about my emotional needs? Please read your Bible. That's where people divorce. I thought you would, now you don't have a job, so okay, it's all over. Then he married her because he thought she will always meet his sexual and domestic needs. Karal. Shakarabaros. Cook, clean, and the other room matters. Is she a slave? So now listen to this. What do you then do when you get married? And this is another true story of, and I've not seen just one, I've seen quite a few over the years, that the guy was, when he was single, kept himself, did everything, prayer, all that. Now gets married, so he feels it's time. It's time to be a blessing and to be blessed. He now gets in, and then, when you're about to enter a shop, and that, it even happened to me this Friday. You just get there, as you are getting there, they just put sign, closed. How far? And you've traveled far to come here. And they said the shop is closed. So you find out when you are married, the shop is not always open. And you can't protest outside the shop. Open the shop. Open the shop. No. Sometimes they're not feeling well. They are not feeling the mood. They say you didn't talk to them. Something, or you talked to them one guy, You didn't do the dishes. There are just so many things that can just enter the shop mix. Who knows what I'm talking about? So Listen, I mean, this particular, they didn't consummate the marriage for 6 months. Well, so, and the guy had to be palliating the shopkeeper. It can't be, you can't harass, you can't protest. It is well, are you okay? Mhm. And so you see, when people get married under the wrong assumptions and expectations, many times we experience what we call buyer's remorse. What's buyer's remorse? Buyer's remorse essentially is when you buy a product and you become remorseful after. So I've told you about my adventures on Instagram shopping. Till tomorrow, the advert always gets me. Even yesterday, and then when I now remember my experience, I didn't bother pressing buy. Because they tend to promise what they are not going to deliver. You know, we use American people to do the advertisement. And you think the thing is from America and it's in dollars. By the time the product comes, it's written in Chinese. Once you see Chinese like this, I have nothing against the Chinese people, but my experience on this thing, Chinese, it always comes out with some problem. It's not as big as it looked on the thing. There's one shirt like this I saw. I said, yeah, this is the shirt. I bought 4. When they came back, the fabric was like scarf, you know. The woman, the thing couldn't even enter my, you know. It was just. I said, these people are somehow. Now that's what you call buyer's remorse, you know. But you see, that's for. I just tossed them. I just tossed them away. But it is more painful when it's what you call a high involvement good. When you buy a car with a lot of money, or you buy a house. You spend that big money, £250,000, £400,000. Buyer's remorse is more painful because you have 30 years to pay it. And you are living in that house and the thing is falling apart. That's what marriage can be like. That you got married on the wrong expectation. When our expectations are not met, we feel deceived, we feel frustrated, and we feel disappointed. It's a bit like my Chinese writing. You see this and you say, again, I've been deceived. And imagine waking up to that every day, in a sense. Most people believe these lies, these 5 lies, I'm going to talk about them, that they believe them before they get married and make a wrong choice. So they believe the lie, oh, he'll be this, oh, this will always happen. So they marry and make a wrong choice. But if you can know the truth before, the guy may look good or the girl may look good, and then say, no. I like him, but I can't marry him. And then the other thing is that we believe them after we get married and make the wrong decision. Now you are married, but you still hold on to that lie. And then as a result of it, you break up the marriage. But if you know the truth, you will know everybody is passing through this thing as well. Okay? Marriage doesn't solve your problems. You're not your neighbor. Say, marriage will not solve your problems. I'm telling you. Also, those of you who are married, marriage did not start your problems either. Your problems were always there. They only revealed them. Does this make sense? Listen to this. The other day, I'm sure you've seen this happen a number of times. Somebody came into a room, seminar and things like that, and sat on the chair. And the chair gave up. Now, the truth of the matter is that that person did not start the problem of the chair. Does that make sense? Let me explain what I mean. You think they did. That chair already had problems. That chair was already cracked or weak. And all the person did was revealed the problem that was already there. Many of us are already cracked. And you need to be healed or sealed before you get married. That's why God hasn't sent the person yet. I'm preaching louder than you are shouting. And so what it is listen to this. Some of you, you're even you're a good person. Both of you are good people. But the marriage is the relationship is wrong. The timing is wrong. You know what? Cement needs to set first before you build on it. So some people are too much in a hurry. Look, if you rush into a marriage because of sex, you will soon find out that you have it every day, or somehow it's there. And then you thought you wanted to escape not sinning. So you used marriage as a fire exit for sex. Now you are married, and the sexual desire is still there. And it is not being satisfied here. So what do you do? Where will you run to now? Don't shout too much. Amen. So marriage, look, listen to this. What happens is that, let me tell you, whatever that your chair is, the strength of it will be revealed by the pressures that marriage will bring. People don't understand. Marriage has major pressures. Major ones. So, lie number one. Are you ready? Okay. What's the marriage lie number one is that you will change your spouse. That's the lie. I will change him. Okay. All right. You will soon see. Don't marry as a missionary. That you are going there to convert the hidden. God has been trying to convert him. He hasn't succeeded. Now you want to be the converter. Yeah. It's okay. I know other people don't know how to talk to him, but I have the Midas touch. It's all right. Okay. Listen to this. Many people going into what I call a partner project. The guy is evidently crazy. Oh, I have his medicine. Don't worry. Okay. So we're going with a chisel and a hammer to chisel off the rough edges. You can see the rough edges, but I know because you don't want to be poked or choked. So say, don't worry, for my sake, he will change. All right. Okay, so you try to make them a blanket. You know, I mean, I've told you many times about this true story. 20-something years ago, first came to England as a pastor, as a missionary. And somebody said, oh, I'm tired. Last winter, I was without a husband. This winter, I must have a husband before winter. And she got one. Look, it is safer to get a blanket. At least that one you can change if it's got holes in it. If your husband has holes, you can't change him. Hello. That your husband will always be a blanket. You know, some blankets beat people up. Listen to this. There's some things, that, marriage in a sense, or let me say, the relationship clouds before you get in. I would explain them to you in a short while. I mean, I was saying in the other service that I've been operated on maybe 3 times. 2 of the operations were not general anesthesia. I was awake. They were cutting me like this. And they gave me some kind of anesthesia. I mean, probably laughing gas and some other thing. Do they still use laughing gas today? Yeah, okay, something else. But you know what? I was feeling the cut. I was even seeing the blood on the surgeon's hands. I was feeling the tug, but I did not feel the pain. He was in my belly. He was inside doing this and pulling things out, and I was seeing the blood. So I could see the facts, but I did not feel the pain. And marriage can be like that, or before marriage. You can see this guy is a gangster. You can see some that is nightclubbing and doing something, but you don't feel, he will change. Okay? But you can see the blood. So, when I felt the pain? When I got home. That night I couldn't, the surgeon has gone. I could not sleep to go to the little, that's what marriage is. The anesthesia leaves after the honeymoon. Then you feel everything and you see all the blood. What did I do? You got married. And what are the that's why you have to be very honest with yourself. Before you, listen to this. And God is a kind God. Oh, you don't even have to be a believer. God will send you signals beforehand. Yes. Show you this guy is like this. Okay, so there are character signals. This guy is selfish. You go to the restaurant, he buys what he doesn't buy, he buys for himself. Is he just not? He comes and you just see him eating something. He didn't buy another piece for. And you say, oh, he's just, for now, that's how he is. When we get married, the love will enter. It is well. Those are signs. He doesn't send, right now, he doesn't send money to his mom or his dad, so he's saving for us. The way he's treating his parents, he will treat you worse. You see anger, some signs of anger. And you see him get angry at other people. Your sisters, his sister, but for you. He wants to get angry and I say, oh, I have a calming effect on him. For now. For now. When he gets married, whatever anger is here will be accentuated. You can see some lies, but you call them gray lies. You say, he's just lying to be kind. He doesn't want to hurt my feelings. It's okay. Little lies. Seem like little lies. You're on your way somewhere. You say, look, okay, we'll tell the pastor this and that. And but you two, you are agreeing. Okay, if he's going to a man of God and we say this and that, what will he tell his friend when they are coming from a nightclub? We will tell her this and that. You can see signs of dishonesty. He's already trying to get underneath your clothes here now. And then you say it's love. And then you allow him. Guess what? Some of those things are also signs. And you just finish fellowship. Just after cluster. And you prayed after. And straight, you are going to each other's house. Guess what he will do when you are not around? If he doesn't have the restraints now. Or she. Or he's disrespectful to his aunt. On the phone, you see how he shouts on them and all of that stuff. And disrespectful to his pastor, or and so on and so forth. And then you say, no. Because, they were trying to stand in our way of the relationship. Okay. They deserve it. Guess how it will be to you. These 4 character traits that I said are manifesting that God is allowing you to see. Yeah. Selfishness, anger, lying, disrespect. We talk about them in our cluster campaign, the one we are doing right now. We just started one. The first week we talked about dishonesty in it, or lying. Okay, there's more to come. If you're not part, better join. That's a good place to find out how these things manifest in relationships and how to deal with them. The next thing is, okay, this person does not have overt character flaws like that. What about their disposition? Right now, I'm doing a series on a daily basis throughout the whole the month of 30 days. Questions you must ask before you get married. Today's one is question number 10. Habits. What are their habits? Do they eat like this? Now, there's nothing really wrong in that. It's not a sin. But can you stand it? Hello? I really hope you enjoyed that message. Why don't you join us same time, same place? And in the meantime, don't forget to connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until we see you next time.
Thank you for watching this broadcast. For information, visit our socials at the Liberty Church London, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, or our website www.thelibertychurchlondon.com. Until next time, stay liberated. This broadcast was supported by the Liberty Church and partners worldwide.